Hey everyone, welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom. I'm Jake T. O'Donnell. Welcome to today's video. As you can see, it's a little bit different than normal. I'm on camera. I also have recently put up my uncut sheets back here, so looking to do sort of more on-camera content as we go forward here on the channel. And I wish that the first video that we're doing like this was under better circumstances. Unfortunately, last night, Tuesday, the announcement came down that Willie Mays, the greatest baseball player that ever lived, the greatest baseball player of all time, passed away at the age of 93. Very sadly, right before this really exciting game that's happening at Rickwood Field in Alabama, in Birmingham, not far from where he grew up. Certainly his presence would have sort of is actually going to tower over this game. No question about it. It would have regardless. But I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about him because and certainly pay tribute to his memory and pay tribute to the person that he was and the player that he was. For me personally, I fell in love with baseball when I was 6 years old, and I fell in love with the history of the game right away. And I gravitated to Willie Mays because he was the best. There was nothing that he couldn't do on the field. The numbers bore itself out over the course of his long career, but also just the fact that everything that you would ever want to excel at as a player, he was the best at. He was an incredible power hitter. He was an incredible base stealer. He's probably the best defensive player ever in the history of the game, regardless of position. He was an incredible instinctual player. He could do everything. And I was always so drawn to him. I remember in junior high, I wore 24, not because of Manny Ramirez, even as a Red Sox fan. I wore number 24 because of him, because of Willie Mays. And so I was always so drawn to him and always so enamored with him and his ability. And anytime the question would ever come up, any conversation I was ever in about who's the best player of all time, the answer was always Willie Mays. No question about it. Not even a question. And as a kid, working with my dad, building a vintage collection, I only had one playing days Willie Mays card, and I'm sure we came across it, and it was a good price, and we snapped it up. And I don't have ready access to it right now, but I'm gonna put it up on the screen so you can look at it. It's a 1972 Topps Willie Mays. This is the most cherished card in my entire collection. It certainly is not the most expensive. It's certainly not the most valuable in terms of money, but it's the most valuable to me. Because it's such a beautiful card. It's in such great condition, and I picked it up. We picked it up early, when I was a kid, and it was something that I cared about this card so much. I tried to keep in such good shape. I kept it in a penny sleeve in our binder of all of our vintage cards. And last year, I sent it to PSA to get slabbed, and as you can see, it came back as a 6. And I did mention this on the channel, and we went through all of those cards. The cards I'm most thankful for. You've seen, if you followed this channel for a while, you've seen this card before. But it was the fact that it was a playing days Willie Mays card, a playing days card of the best player of all time. I was going to cherish this card forever, and I still do. And so I'm so thankful to own it. I'm thankful to have it here, and I'm thankful to be able to show it to you. But so as a fan of the game, as a fan of the history of the game, I felt like it was my obligation to just come on and talk about this guy. And I want to celebrate him. I want to celebrate his legacy. I want to celebrate the person that he was, and the way that we celebrate legacies here and we celebrate the history of the game is through cards. And so I'm going to run through all of my other playing days cards of his. I'm going to start just by showing again, I don't have ready access to it, but I'm going to show it on the screen right now. My 1959 Topps Willie Mays card. It's the oldest Willie Mays card that I have, and it is it's an SGC 5. I bought this raw from my buddy Fish. Shout out to Fish. And again, I showed this on 59 Topps Friday a few months ago. Great card, beautiful condition. Came back as a 5. Couldn't be happier with it. One of the best cards I own for sure. And I was honored to get to talk about Willie Mays on 59 Topps Friday not that long ago. Okay, so let's come back, and I'm gonna run through the other cards that I have of his, and we're just gonna talk about his greatness. We're gonna talk about how great Willie Mays was. And these are all basically from 1959 through 1968. And then I have one other later card of his, which was also in my long-term collection going back to the 90s. But I'm going to start, and these are kind of in order, but not really. But going to start with this beauty right here, the NL Hitting Kings multiplayer card with Richie Ashburn. Not totally sure. Again, this is the first time I'm really doing this, so I got to make sure that it's somewhat in focus, I guess. And then it mentions that the Richie Willie put on thrilling contest for the National League batting crown last season. Second title for Richie. Willie came up, yeah. So basically these were the two top guys in 1958 for the trying to get the batting title. Okay. Then of course, the Baseball Thrills 59 of the catch. And I just posted this on Twitter, and basically I was saying, like, imagine how great of a catch you have to make in order for 70 years later for it to still be known as the catch, just by two words, the catch, and everybody knows what you're talking about. I mean, it's amazing. This is such a great card, and I can't wait to talk about the Baseball Thrill subset on 59 Topps Friday. But this is the most famous, the most important, greatest catch of all time. I think that this catch helped grow the game of baseball. It showed people what's possible. It expanded what's possible. I think before this catch, I think a catch like that was not really viewed as being something that could seriously actually be done, and it changed the game, and it changed sports, I believe, this catch. So we have Willie Mays to thank for that. All right, I have a couple of other of his cards in slabs. This is his All-Star card, high number from that year, and it's an a PSA 3. Just make sure that there's not too much glare on that. That's a really nice card. You can kind of see the back as well. Talking about the Say Hey Kid, of course, his nickname, and this is a great card. I love this. I love the All-Star cards in the 59 top set are like pretty underrated, if you ask me. So great to have this as well. All right, let me just make sure I organize these a little bit better. All right, so as we get into the 60s, I don't necessarily have a lot of his sort of single player cards, but I have a lot of his leader cards to show, and it shows you how great he was, that he was always in all of these leader cards. So here's this is a 61, so this is 1960 National League batting leaders with Roberto Clemente on there as well. That's a good one. This is a 62, so this is from the 1961 NL home run leaders with two other Hall of Famers there. Orlando Cepeda, his teammate with the Giants, as well as Frank Robinson. That's cool. All right, getting into the later 60s. So 1965, he's the MVP in the National League, Willie Mays is. And he's on the leader cards for, this is the 66 set. So 3 Hall of Famers there. Willie is the home run leader. He had he had 52 home runs this year. Again, 50-plus home run hitter, Gold Glove defense in center field, could hit for average, steal bases. I mean, it's just unbelievable what this guy could do. And so there you go. So that's that one. The next one is, I think this is the greatest leader card of all time. I think other people would agree with me on this. And it's in off condition, but there you go. One of my favorite cards. I'm so glad to have this, to own this. Let me try to make sure that this is like a little bit in better focus. I don't know, a little struggling with the again. This is the first time I've really done this. So, but anyway, look at those guys: Clemente, Aaron, Mays. Doesn't get any better than this. This is the best leader card, I think, of all time. Certainly the most star power on one leader card, with one possible exception that I'm going to show you a little bit later. I still think that's the best because of the design. The other one I'm about to show you, that I'm going to show you in a little bit, I think it gets some demerits because of the design. I think I think you probably know what I'm talking about already. But 66. This is the 66 Topps. This is the leaders card again. He was with Hall of Famer Frank Robinson, also Darren Johnson, who was a really good hitter there. And then the next year, this is a 67 card. This is 66 home run leaders with Hank Aaron and Dick Allen, who should be in the Hall of Fame. I look forward to the day when this is a Hall of Famer card, and it should be hopefully very soon. Okay, so those are the leader cards. There's one other leader card that I'll show again. This is just the kind of order that I pulled these cards in. This is a 60 not multiplayer, but this is Master and Mentor with Bill Rigney, who was the I think at this point was the I think he was a coach still, Bill Rigney, but Rigney was like somebody that kind of watched over and really helped Willie when he first came into the big leagues. So this is a 1960 Topps card. Okay. Here's his 62 All-Star card. This is a lower grade example, but still really nice card. Yeah, I love that one. All right, here's the other leader card I was talking about. Again, the 63 leader cards, your mileage varies, right? The floating heads. These are legendary. Same thing with the rookie cards in that set, like all that stuff. But, this has got 5 Hall of Famers on it, nonetheless. And 1962, Willie was the home run leader with 49 home runs that year in the National League. But then you see there's 4 other Hall of Famers in this card. So this is a great card and a very special one. However, again, your mileage varies on the floating head cards. All right, another multiplayer card in the 63 set. Again, I built most of the 63 set, except for one big card. But Pride of the National League with Willie Mays and Stan Musial, 2 of the all-time greats. In the history of the National League, Willie Mays may be the best right-handed hitter and Stan Musial the best left-handed hitter. Maybe. Could say that. This card's a little bit off condition. You actually might be able to tell. Look at Willie's head there. It's like somebody stamped this with like some sort of like a square something. I don't know what. Good enough for a set build, I guess, but like definitely weird. I didn't realize it until after I picked it up that it had that weird almost like a stamp. But either way, great card. And speaking of great cards, here is his 63 card, 63 Topps card. Beautiful card. I actually do think I'm going to send this one in to be graded because it is really sharp. And I don't know kind of in the future what I'm going to do with what I have built for the 63 set, but this is, let me just, right there. This is such a beautiful card, very sharp. Centering, especially for a 63, is pretty good. And good registration. This is a beautiful card. I love this one, and he looks so amazing in it. He's just ready to go, ready to rock. All right, 67 multiplayer card, 2 Hall of Famers there, Fence Busters with Willie McCovey. It's a great card. As you guys know, I'm building the 68 set, so here is his 68 regular card. Great card right there. And then talk about multiplayer cards. Maybe the best multiplayer card ever is this with Killebrew, 3 Hall of Famers, Killebrew, Mays, Mantle. Outstanding card. Beautiful. Last year for Mickey, of course. And then the last sort of regular playing days card I have is this 68 Decal Edge. This is the last card in this particular set. This is a really nice card. And the Decal Edge is very undervalued, very underrated. So that's the last of the sort of playing days cards. And then I did want to share this. This was something in my long-term collection. It's the only kind of Mets card that I have of his. And this is 74. This is the World Series. This came back as a 6. Nice grade. This card I've had since I was a little kid. I don't really call it a playing days because he had retired after the 73 season, and this is from the 74. But still a great card, one of my favorite cards. So anyway. So that's what I have for Willie cards. I did previously, over the last year, I had 2 64s, a 66, a 67, and a 69, all for Willie, but I sold all of those. Right now, I kind of wish I had hung on to them for a lot of different reasons, but not the least of which is that I would just love to be able to almost like have this almost like a mini 60s player run for Willie Mays. But maybe someday, maybe we'll get them back. But so I wanted to run through those and just show them. I love Willie. I love the opportunity to get my hands on any of his cards and to be able to just sort of remember. If you ask the question of like who would I have wanted to watch play in person the most, it would be Willie for sure. And so I think the kind of closing thought that I have here on this is that this is a massive loss for us, for baseball, for the people that are fans. It certainly is obviously, of course, a loss for his family and for Giants fans and for the people that knew him, his friends. from a baseball standpoint, it's a huge loss because of the connection to the previous era. I believe that Willie was the last Hall of Famer that played professionally in the 1940s. He was the oldest living Hall of Famer. That now passes to Luis Aparicio. I think that the oldest Hall of Famer who debuted the earliest is Sandy Koufax, debuted in 55. Aparicio debuted in 56. So we're losing these connections to our past, to the past of baseball. And I think things like this Rick Woodfield game, and the things that we try to do here at Wax Pack Wisdom, which is to make sure that we connect the present day to the past so that we keep the history of this game, of the sport, of whether it's baseball, football, anything, we keep it alive. And the reason why we want to keep it alive is because it's important to remember. It's important to keep track of what it's the whole point of why we keep track of any kind of history is important for generations in the future to know what happened. And I think for us here, how do we connect to our history? We do it through baseball cards. We do it through the hobby. And I think that having these living pieces of history are really critical to understanding and connecting us to our past. That's what we try to do here. And so the memory of somebody like Willie Mays, the greatest baseball player of all time, can live on through my heart, through the hearts of so many people that are fans, through these physical pieces of history. This is, I think, is a huge part of how we keep this alive. So my hope is that, and like probably a lot of other people today, you're going through your cards, you're looking at your Willie cards, you're looking at it, you're talking about your shared experiences with them, and I hope that everybody is doing that today if they have the opportunity to, and they can share, when we can all share in this history together. So anyway, that was it. That was all I wanted to say today. Rest in peace to the great Willie Mays. Deepest condolences to his family, to his friends, to the Giants organization, to the many fans, people that knew him. And that's it. That's going to do it for Wax Pack Wisdom today. Please leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought. Share what's your favorite Willie Mays card. Let us know. We really appreciate your time. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.